The campus belle just had a huge fight with me. But the next day, I disappeared. Starting from that day, I seemed to have vanished from her life. Friends and teachers didn't know where I went. Not until she came to my house to find me did she discover that my family had also moved away. In the end, there was really no other way. She tearfully begged her father to use his family connections to check my ID information at the police station, but the news she received was person not found. At that moment, Lin Qingshui only had one thought in her mind. The boy she loved was dead. For the past 3 years, she has firmly believed in this thought. 3 years later, I successfully completed the National Scientific Research Mission and returned. I learned that Lin Qingshui was a sophomore at Jingdu University. To make up for the regrets of high school, even though I could have been a professor at Tsinghua, I chose to enroll in Jingdu University instead. I became a freshman at Jingdu University, the freshman reception desk of the School of Economics and Management, Jingdu University. Lin Qingshui was wearing a long white dress, sitting peacefully on a chair at the freshman reception desk. She was just sitting there quietly, but she had already attracted countless passers-by. The amazed and captivated gazes of the freshmen. Li Qian, standing next to Lin Qingshui, smiled at her. Lin Qingshui, you truly live up to your name as the #1 recognized campus belle of our Jingdu University. Look at those newly arrived junior guys. The moment they see you, they're completely stunned. I guarantee it. After the freshmen finish registering, I wonder how many junior guys will be trying to find out about you on campus. Lin Qingshui's expression was indifferent. Let them be. I'm not interested in dating anyway. Compared to dating these people, with good friends like you, having time to go to Wyoming Lake to enjoy the night breeze, going to the snack street outside the North Gate for a late-night meal, isn't that much more romantic than falling in love? But after she finished speaking, the light in Lin Qingshui's eyes suddenly dimmed a little. Going to Wyoming Lake together to enjoy the breeze, going to the snack street outside the North Gate for barbecue, and also going to the school library to read together. Skipping class to go watch him play in the school's basketball game. She had said all these things to that boy back then. It's a pity that now, among the many students coming and going on this campus, even if there are people with eyes like his, a nose like his, and even people who talk like him, it's a pity that none of them are him in the end. As expected of roommates who have lived together for a year, seeing the dimness in Lin Qingshui's eyes, Li Qian immediately said nervously, Qingshui, you can't still be hung up on your boyfriend who died 3 years ago, can you? Regarding Lin Qingshui's story, her roommates in the dorm knew the general idea. An innocent high school romance, puppy love, if you will, or a secret crush, it didn't matter. It's youth. Everyone has had similar experiences. But even if it's mourning for 3 years, 3 years have already passed. Why not try for a fresh start? Qingshui also understood what her roommate was thinking. She smiled freely. Actually, it's not that I'm hung up on it. It's just that I can't bring myself to like anyone else right now. Lin Qingshui then pulled Li Qian's hand, urging her. All right, don't just stand there daydreaming. The freshmen should be mostly on campus by now. Why don't you go to the school gate to welcome them? Who knows, maybe our department will have a few handsome guys this year that you might take a liking to. That makes sense. Li Qian's eyes immediately lit up. Then she quickly left the reception desk and went to the school gate to welcome new students. Lin Qingshui let out a sigh. The joy of one's youth. How can it be so easily forgotten? There was a time when just a slight turn from her carried away my entire youth. Her slightly reddened eyes blinked a few times quickly. It was as if she had returned to dozing off in math class, passing notes in literature class, and copying song lyrics during study hall. A time long past when even 10 minutes could hold a beautiful dream. Soon, a summer breeze blew by, messing up the young woman's long hair at her temples. Lin Qingshui lifted her head slightly, her expression showing a hint of disappointment. If only he were still here now. In front of Jingdu University's gate, I carried my suitcase. I looked up at the 4 large gilded characters before me. In my heart, which was originally calm, a significant ripple suddenly appeared. Back then, I left without saying goodbye. She must have been heartbroken. I took a deep breath and slowly walked onto the campus. I hadn't taken more than a few steps when a person wearing a freshman welcome volunteer armband, Li Qian, quickly walked up to me. Hey Junior, what department are you in? I'm a volunteer for this freshman welcome event. Let me take you to register, School of Economics and Management. I didn't refuse. It just so happens that I'm not familiar with the way. Then I'll have to trouble you, senior. No trouble at all. Li Qian smiled. What a coincidence. I'm also in the School of Economics and Management. That means you're my direct junior. She reached out to take my suitcase. Give me your suitcase, I'll take you to register right away. I quietly and discreetly pulled the suitcase back a little. No need, senior. The things in my suitcase are quite heavy. I can handle it myself. All right then, just follow closely behind me. Li Qian wasn't fussy either. After a relaxed laugh, she led me onto the campus, heading towards the freshman registration desk. After taking less than 2 steps, I looked up and asked, Senior, since you're a senior in our School of Economics and Management, I'd like to ask something. Do you know a senior named Lin Qingshui? Of course I know her. Li Qian immediately nodded. With a teasing look in her eyes, she said, You're pretty well informed, Junior. You've only just arrived at school, but you've already found out who the most beautiful campus belle in our department is. Are you also interested in our great campus Belle Lin? I smiled. Senior Lin and I went to the same high school. It's also because of her that I chose to enroll in the School of Economics and Management at Jingdu University. Li Qian was a little surprised. She quickly gave me an I get it look. So you came here because of her reputation. Kids these days are really something. But since you two went to the same high school, you must have heard about your senior line story, right? I was a bit stunned. The Lin Qingshui from high school was always a top student. Other than titles like Campus Belle and Top Student, I really didn't know Lin Qingshui had any other stories. Does getting second place in the grade count? Because I was the one who got first place. At this moment, the phone in my pocket suddenly rang. Excuse me, I need to take this call. I looked at Li Qian apologetically. I then picked up the phone. Professor Liu, this is Chu Yang. This Professor Liu is a professor at Jingdu University. Although he's not old, he has already become one of the most respected professors in the fields of microelectronics and electronic physics in the country. He is currently the Vice Dean in charge of scientific research at the School of Electronic Information, Jingdu University. A man with real power. During my 3 years at the scientific research base, I relied on my professional knowledge to win over a series of respected domestic professors, and the professors in various professional fields also helped me accumulate a significant network of connections. A hearty middle-aged man's voice came through the phone. Chief Engineer Chu, I'm really so sorry. Originally, according to the plan, I was supposed to welcome you at the gate, but a sudden project from my superiors ran into some problems and they needed me to go help out. So I'm not in Jingdu right now. I'm truly sorry. I shook my head and said with a smile, the superiors project is the most important thing. I'm fine. I'm about to go through the enrollment procedures now. Professor Liu continued to ask, but I still don't understand. With your research level, you could completely replace a doctoral research student, so why did you suddenly want to attend university? Chief Engineer Chu, I'll say it again, as soon as you change your mind, I can immediately report it to the higher-ups and make you an honorary professor at our Jingdu University. If you want to teach, we can even create a special major for you. I guarantee you that our compensation package will definitely be better than the one at Tsinghua University next door. Back at the research base, I was a hot commodity in the eyes of the deans. But at that time, I was completely focused on the research breakthrough for the lithography machine, so those deans didn't press the matter. Now that the research is over, based on my contributions, I should at least get a position as an academician at the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Such a young academician would be a talent fought over by everyone, no matter where I went. Since I had come to Jingdu University, they naturally couldn't let me leave again. I replied with a smile, let's talk about this later. Just let me rest for a while. All right, I'm about to register now. You're quite busy too, so I won't bother you any longer. Okay. Professor Liu nodded repeatedly. Then you go ahead and register first. Although I'm not at the university for now, if you run into any problems in your daily life, just give me a call directly. Yes, when you return to Jingdu, I will definitely pay you a visit. I smiled and nodded, then I hung up the phone. By this time, we had arrived at the freshman registration area. Li Qian looked around and discovered that Lin Qingshui, who was originally sitting at the reception desk, had suddenly disappeared. She hurried over to the others and asked, "Where's Qingshui? I brought a junior from her hometown for her." Someone replied, "Our great campus Belle Lin said the weather was too hot and being here all day was quite tiring, so she went to buy us some milk tea. She's gone to get the milk tea now." Li Qian was a little disappointed. She turned to me and said, "Sorry about that, Junior. She had something come up unexpectedly, so you won't be able to meet her for now." I smiled lightly and nodded. "It's okay, there's plenty of time. We'll have a chance to meet." "What class are you in?" "School of Economics and Management, Class 1, freshman year." After hearing this, Li Qian immediately smiled. "Oh, then it's fine. Qingshu and I are both assistant counselors. For you freshmen in Class 1 of the School of Economics and Management, you'll be able to see her at the freshman class meeting tomorrow. Go ahead and register first." I nodded slightly. I walked up to the small registration table for the School of Economics and Management. After they verified the information on my acceptance letter and I found my name on the freshman list, I signed and received my dorm key and student ID card. A senior came up to me. "Hey, Junior. Now that you've got your things, let me take you to the dormitory first. Go to the dorm and drop off your luggage first. Then you can go to the dorm management office to pick up your bedding and some daily necessities." I nodded slightly. Then I followed the sophomore senior towards the men's dormitory of the School of Economics and Management. Not long after I left, Lin Qingshui returned with the others to the freshman registration area of the School of Economics and Management. Li Qian immediately rushed in front of Lin Qingshui. "Qingshui, your timing was so off. Let me tell you, our department has a super handsome and charismatic guy this year, and he even said he went to the same high school as you. I think this junior definitely came here for you." Lin Qingshui gave a helpless smile. "Stop it. I have no intention of dating right now." Li Qian said, "I didn't say you had to date him, but he is your junior, your direct junior from your hometown. You should at least look after him a little. Besides, he's in Class 1. You'll see him at the freshman class meeting tomorrow." Then Li Qian asked again, "His name is Chu Yang. So, do you have any impression of this junior?" The moment Li Qian said this, Lin Qingshui's heart skipped half a beat. Even her voice began to tremble slightly. "What? Did you say his name was? His name is Chu Yang. Is there a problem?" Li Qian asked doubtfully. "No. It's nothing." Lin Qingshui shook her head with a hint of disappointment. Which way did he just go? Li Qian pointed in the direction I had left. By the time Lin Qingshui's gaze followed, the backs of me and the sophomore senior had just turned into a small alley. But in that instant, Lin Qingshui seemed to see the back of the boy from all those years ago. But then she quickly shook her head. No, it's impossible. It's probably just a coincidence with the name. During the summer vacation 3 years ago, Chu Yang and I had a fight. I said I would ignore him from then on, but after calming down for 2 days, I sent a message to Chu Yang. But starting from that day, he seemed to have vanished from my life. Friends and teachers didn't know where he went. Not only had his family moved away, but even when I went to the police station to check his ID information, it had been completely erased. At that moment, a thought appeared in Lin Qingshui's mind. It was that he had died. For the past 3 years, she had firmly believed this. So in her eyes, that back could absolutely not be his. At most, it was just the same name and a very similar back. Finally, Lin Qingshui, trembling slightly, pulled back her eager steps. The sophomore senior brought me to the dormitory building and then left. I followed the room number on the dorm key and opened the door to the dorm room where I would live for my entire university life. Very quickly, the other 2 people in the dorm also arrived. The 4 of us ranked ourselves by birth date. Zhou Pengfei was the eldest. Zhang Mingyang was second, I was third, and Wang Lei was the youngest. Zhang Mingyang smiled. It's not easy for all of us to gather here from all over the country. I'm a local from Jingdu. I know this area quite well. My treat tonight. How about we all go out for a meal? Zhou Pengfei quickly said, forget about treating us. We can just split the bill. But I know the area better so I can pick the place. Haha, Wang Lei and I also smiled and nodded. At this moment, Wang Li's phone dinged. He quickly looked down at his phone. Then he held up his phone and said to the rest of us, hey guys, have you joined the class group chat yet? The counselor has created a class group. There's an announcement in the group saying that our class's assistant counselor this year is Lin Qingshui. Do you guys know who Lin Qingshui is? Zhou Pengfei was the first to react. Holy cow, for real? Lin Qingshui is our assistant counselor? I raised an eyebrow slightly. In the information I had someone find for me earlier, I knew that Lin Qingshui was very popular at Jingdu University, but I didn't expect her to be this popular. After reading the message in the group, Zhang Mingyang sighed. What a pity. She's the #1 campus belle of our Jingdu University, but our senior Lin is still hung up on her boyfriend, who died 3 years ago. Otherwise, just based on the fact that she's our assistant counselor, I would definitely have to try and pursue her. My heart stirred slightly. I looked up and asked, a boyfriend from 3 years ago? Lin Qingshui had a boyfriend 3 years ago? Zhang Mingyang nodded repeatedly. With a gossipy expression, he said, according to the gossip I've heard, Lin Qingshui's ex-boyfriend was her deskmate in 10th grade, but he later died in an accident. After saying that, Zhang Mingyang sighed again. What a pity. If she had just broken up with her ex-boyfriend, that would be one thing. But he died. I guess our great campus belle Lin will probably never be able to forget that high school ex-boyfriend in her lifetime. 10th grade deskmate. I was instantly stunned. I remember that in 10th grade, wasn't Lin Qingshui's deskmate me? Since when did I become her ex-boyfriend? I admit that back then I did have some feelings for her, but before I could act on them, I was taken away for scientific research. What happened during the 3 years I was gone? No. I have to go ask and find out. I shot up from my chair, immediately attracting the gazes of the other 3 in the dorm. Third brother, where are you going all of a sudden? I exhaled and said, I just remembered. I still have a few daily necessities I haven't bought yet, so I'm planning to go to the supermarket near the school to buy some things. I couldn't just say that I was the ex-boyfriend who had been dead for 3 years that they were talking about. Zhou Pengfei smiled. Perfect timing. The stuff the school provided isn't quite enough. I need to buy some things too. Let's go together. Wang Lei and Zhang Mingyang also stood up. They said in unison, let's go, let's go. I happen to need to buy things too. I suddenly had 3 tails following me. The corner of my mouth twitched. I gave a faint smile and said, all right, let's go together then. 3 years have already passed. 1 more day doesn't matter. Registration was originally in the afternoon. By the time the 4 of us went to the supermarket and shopping mall near the school and bought all the necessary daily items for the dorm, it was almost 7 p.m. when we got back to campus. After putting our things away, and after all 4 of us had washed up, Zhang Mingyang looked at us and said, brothers, it's about that time now. Let's take a walk around campus. We can grab a late-night snack while we're at it. The others naturally had no problem. Sure. Wait for me to dry my hair, Zhang Mingyang said with a smile. Brothers, don't say I didn't warn you. Our Jingdu University might not have much else, but we have way more beautiful senior girls than Tsinghua next door. Dress up a little. Who knows, you might catch the eye of some pretty girl. Zhou Pengfei's eyes immediately lit up. Damn, why didn't you say so earlier? I need to change my clothes. Wang Lei's expression shifted slightly. He yelled towards Zhang Mingyang, second brother. I'm not very good at styling my hair. Can you help me with my hair later too? The corner of my mouth twitched. A smile slowly formed in my eyes. Perhaps this is the breath of youth. I held up my phone's blank screen, look at my reflection. Still as handsome as ever. No problem. I don't need to dress up. I'm not that shallow. The women's dormitory. Li Qian smilingly walked over to Lin Qingshui's side. Qingshui, what are we eating tonight? Lin Qingshui said slowly. Let's go to the cafeteria. I think the new braised pork with tofu skin at the first floor cafeteria is pretty good. Li Qian immediately said, "We just got to school, and you're already going to the cafeteria? We've been busy all day. Let's go wander around the north gate, see if there's anything good to eat. We can also buy some fruit to bring back." Lin Qingshui immediately shot her a look. "I think you just want to go out and see the new junior guys at our school." "You knew? So why'd you have to say it out loud?" Li Qian said helplessly. Lin Qingshui turned to look at her two other roommates. "What about you two? Want to go out for a walk together?" The other two girls immediately nodded. "No problem." Lin Qingshui looked up at Li Qian. "It seems that after the summer break, our dorm hasn't gone out together for a long time. Then let's go." Very quickly, the four from room 319 got ready and quickly left the women's dormitory, heading together to the snack street at the school's north gate. At almost the same time, Lin Qingshui's group of four also set out from the women's dormitory, heading to the snack street at the north gate. Zhang Mingyang put both hands in his pockets and looked at us, saying, "Brothers, this north gate is the famous snack street of our Jingdu University. The barbecue joints on this street are all pretty good. You guys pick one." Zhou Pengfei and Wang Lei looked at each other. Then he looked at me and asked, "Youngest, which restaurant should we go to?" I took the opportunity to glance around the barbecue restaurants nearby and chose the closest one. They all nodded in agreement. Zhang Mingyang hurriedly went ahead to lead the way. "Brothers, let's go." At the same time, Li Qian linked arms with Lin Qingshui, and after looking around, she said to Lin Qingshui and the other two beside them, "Sisters, what do you think? Which place should we go to eat?" "We're fine with anything," the other two girls said with a nod. Li Qian then looked at Lin Qingshui beside her. Lin Qingshui looked up, her gaze quickly sweeping around, and then her whole body suddenly trembled. Right at the entrance of the barbecue restaurant, I was standing next to Zhou Bangfei and the others just as we were walking into the restaurant. At that moment, Lin Qingshui felt her mind go blank. Her eyes stared fixedly at the restaurant I had just entered, holding her breath, unable to come back to her senses for a long time. He looked so much like him. Really so much. Unlike the back view from this morning, just now, she felt like she had really seen a boy who looked almost exactly like Chu Yang. His clothes were also the same as in her memory. A clean white t-shirt, tight-fitting jeans, and his long black hair, though a bit messy, was not sloppy at all. At that moment, Lin Qingshui felt like she was about to suffocate. No matter how much she didn't want to believe it, Chu Yang was already dead. Li Qian shook Lin Qingshui's arm a few times. "Qingshui, what are you spacing out for?" Lin Qingshui finally came back to her senses, looked at Li Qian and the others and said, "Let's have barbecue. Barbecue and beer are the perfect match for summer." Of course, Li Qian and the others had no objections. Then, Lin Qingshui slowly led Li Qian and the others to the barbecue restaurant I had just entered. With every step, her heart beat a little faster. Could there really be two identical people in this world? Or perhaps, at that moment, Lin Qingshui's heart, which had been numb for 3 years, somehow began to come back to life. Even if it's just a fluke, even if it's just wishful thinking, she wanted to go see the boy who looked exactly like the Chu Yang in her memories. Zhang Mingyang's group arrived at the restaurant first, found a private room inside, and sat down. I picked up the menu and flipped through a few pages, then looked at them and said, "I'm going to the restroom for a bit. You guys go ahead and order." On the other side, Lin Qingshui and Li Qian's group had also entered the restaurant, first finding a corner to sit down. After asking the owner to bring the menu, Lin Qingshui looked at them. "You guys go ahead and order. I think I saw someone I know. I'm going to look for him for a bit." Li Qian's eyes lit up. "Who do you know? It's not some handsome guy, is it?" Lin Qingshui rolled her eyes. Go on, you order first." Then, she stood on the spot, her gaze sweeping around the barbecue restaurant, and after seeing only unfamiliar faces, her expression immediately showed a hint of disappointment. But then she took a deep breath and quickly pushed open the doors of the private rooms in the restaurant one by one. Finding that the familiar face was still not there, she disappointedly exited the room, repeatedly saying, "Excuse me, I've got the wrong room, the wrong room." Finally, Lin Qingshui pushed open the door to Zhang Mingyang's and everyone's room. Senior Lin seeing Lin Qingshui enter, Zhang Mingyang and the others' eyes widened in surprise. "Hello, juniors! Hello!" Lin Qingshui smiled awkwardly at the three of them, then looked at the 4 sets of bowls and chopsticks on the table, and asked curiously, "Is there one more of you?" Zhou Bangfei quickly said, "Our youngest went to the restroom." Lin Qingshui nodded, looked at them apologetically and said, "I'm sorry. I thought I saw someone I knew just now. I went to the wrong room." Then she quickly backed out of the room. As a result, just as she turned around, she saw the back of a boy wearing a white t-shirt walk by. At that moment, Lin Qingshui's heart immediately started racing. After taking a deep breath, she slowly walked up behind the boy and quickly tapped him on the shoulder. The boy in front quickly turned around, and after seeing it was Lin Qingshui, his eyes immediately lit up. "Classmate Lin, are you looking for me for something?" Lin Qingshui's expression immediately froze. "Oh, I'm sorry. Classmate, I mistook you for someone else. Sorry, I'm really very sorry." Lin Qingshui apologized profusely and finally trudged back to Li Qian and the others. Li Qian quickly asked, "What's wrong? You went out for a bit and came back looking completely out of it?" "It's nothing." Lin Qingshui looked up and forced a smile, then looked at the cold beer bottle on the table. "Today is the first time we've gone out for barbecue together this semester. Let's have a few drinks first. I'll go first." She quickly used a bottle opener to open the beer, and after pouring herself a full glass of beer, Lin Qingshui tilted her head back and gulped down a glass of beer in her hand. On the other side, I slowly walked out of the restroom, didn't look towards the main hall, and pushed open the door to go straight into the private room. The table in the room was already filled with cold beer. Seeing me walk in, the three of them, Zhou Bangfei's group, immediately started laughing. Youngest, you were in the restroom for a long time. We were all waiting for you. Come on, let's celebrate us coming together from all over the country to be here together. Let's all have a drink. I didn't stand on ceremony either. After sitting down, I raised the glass in front of me and smiled at the three of them. Over half an hour later, after 3 rounds of drinks and 5 courses of food. At this point, Zhang Mingyang, his face flushed, raised his glass and smiled at everyone. Brothers, Senior Lin Qingshui is also eating at this restaurant. What do you guys think? Should we go out and offer her a drink? After all, she's our assistant counselor for the upcoming military training. I was stunned. Lin Qingshui was here just now? Wang Lei immediately said, when you were in the restroom earlier, Senior Lin must have gone to the wrong room, so she came into our room for a moment. When I went to the restroom earlier, I saw her and her roommate still drinking outside. Zhou Bangfei nodded in agreement. Right, I saw it too. I have to admit, Senior Lin truly is the #1 campus belle of our capital university. Even when she drinks, she really goes all out. I frowned slightly. Lin Qingshui never used to touch a single drop of alcohol. Screech. With the sound of a chair scraping, I immediately shot up from my seat. Zhou Bangfei and the others looked at me. Youngest, where are you going? A trace of worry appeared in my eyes. Then I smiled at Zhou Bangfei and the others. I'm just stepping out for a moment. You guys keep drinking. After saying that, I pushed open the door of the room and went out into the main hall. Looking around, I quickly found Lin Qingshui, who was drinking non-stop. At the table, Li Qian and the other 2 roommates looked at Lin Qingshui with worried expressions. Qingshui, don't drink anymore. Look, you're already drunk. After Lin Qingshui had walked around the restaurant, they felt that something was a bit off with her. She seemed completely out of it. She was also drinking glass after glass. At first, they all thought Lin Qingshui was in a bad mood, so they drank a few glasses with her. They didn't expect their friend to drink so heavily. It's fine, I'll just drink this last glass. I won't drink anymore. Lin Qingshui's eyes were already a bit hazy, and the hand holding the glass was trembling slightly. Her face was flushed. Just then, suddenly appearing before her eyes, was the face she had always dreamed of. Although it looked a bit blurry, Lin Qingshui was certain it was Chu Yang. Don't drink anymore. I snatched the glass from her hand and downed it in one go. Li Qian looked at me in surprise. Junior, it's you? Hello, Senior. I greeted Li Qian, then looked at Lin Qingshui with a pained expression and asked them, how much has she had to drink? Li Qian pointed to the 7 or 8 beer bottles on the floor. All of this was drunk by our campus belle Lin, and now she's drunk. Lin Qingshui immediately looked up, and in her slightly reddened eyes, 2 streams of tears immediately began to fall. I'm not drunk. Chu Yang, is that you? Chu Yang, you finally appeared. Then she hugged me tightly as I stood beside her and said through sobs, I promise you, I won't argue with you anymore. Can you please not disappear suddenly again? My expression was complicated. I reached out and gently patted Lin Qingshui's trembling shoulders and said to Li Qian, Senior, where is your dorm? Let me help you take her back to the dorm first. Okay. Li Qian was stunned for a moment, then said excitedly, That's great. We can't manage her anyway. Then we'll have to trouble you, Junior. No trouble at all. I shook my head, then put my arm around Lin Qingshui's slender waist, and in a princess carry, quickly lifted her from the chair into my arms. Then with steady steps, I slowly left the barbecue restaurant. Over here, in the private room, Zhou Bangfei and the others poked their heads out to watch. Seeing me carry Lin Qingshui away, they were all immediately dumbfounded. It was too sudden. Just a moment ago, they were still discussing whether to go and offer Lin Qingshui a drink. But when it was my turn, I just directly carried her away. What is going on? The other 2 roommates of Lin Qingshui were also completely confused. In the years since she started university, the guys who pursued Lin Qingshui included rich young masters, as well as startup bosses from off-campus. But without exception, all of them were rejected by Lin Qingshui. On campus, she didn't even pay any attention to any of the male students. How come as soon as this junior arrived, she's already throwing herself into his arms? Li Qian was also a bit surprised. Judging by the current situation, there was definitely some story between these 2. But from what she knew, Lin Qingshui had only ever had a story with one boy, and that was her ex-boyfriend who had been dead for 3 years. Could it be Chu Yang? Thinking of this, Li Qian couldn't help but shiver. Did he use a resurrection scroll or something? But at this moment, she didn't have the mind to think about it anymore, quickly ran to the restaurant's cashier, and after paying the bill, she and the other 2 friends followed me outside. Outside the barbecue restaurant, there were quite a few Capital University students passing by on the street. The moment I carried Lin Qingshui out of the restaurant, it immediately attracted the attention of many students. Girls, look, a Princess Carrie. Are they filming an idol drama? This guy is so handsome, especially his legs, they're so long. I wish I were the girl in his arms. Countless female students covered their mouths in shock, but there were also many sharp-eyed male students who clearly saw Lin Qingshui in my arms. They immediately exclaimed in shock, Oh my god, the person in this guy's arms, isn't that the sophomore Lin Qingshui? Let go of my goddess. Let me do it. Damn it, my goddess has a boyfriend? My youth is over. Lin Qingshui groggily opened her eyes and stared at me right in front of her, her arms immediately wrapped around my neck, her whole body like a squirrel hugging a tree, clinging to me. With fragrant breath by my mouth, she whispered, Chu Yang, is it really you? Chu Yang, you're finally back. Promise me you won't leave again, okay? I really promise. I won't argue with you anymore. The faint scent of a young woman mixed with a light smell of alcohol, watching Lin Qingshui constantly squirming in my arms, her eyes hazy after all. I'm also a hot-blooded young man who has only recently come of age. This action from Lin Qingshui immediately made my blood rush. I couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva and helplessly looked down at Lin Qingshui in my arms. A hint of affection immediately appeared in my eyes. I promise I'll never leave you again, okay? Hearing me say that, Lin Qingshui snuggled into my arms and smiled contentedly. Like a pouting child, she called out, Then you've promised. You can't leave anymore. From now on, whoever disappears without a word is a puppy. A woof-woof puppy. I nodded repeatedly. I promise. Whoever disappears again is a puppy. The woof-woof kind of puppy. This time, Lin Qingshui finally quieted down and obediently nestled in my arms, slowly falling asleep. I turned my head to look at Li Qian walking beside me. Is she usually like this after drinking? Li Qian continuously shook her head. No. Although our dorm sometimes goes out for beer and stuff, Qingshui is very controlled with her drinking and never gets drunk. After saying that, she couldn't help but laugh. Speaking of which, this is the first time we've seen Qingshui drunk. I never expected someone who's usually so cold to be like a child after getting drunk. The two girls walking beside her also nodded repeatedly. Is that so? I nodded slightly and glanced at the phone that Li Qian and the other two were holding and asked doubtfully, Are you guys filming? Li Qian's expression stiffened, and she gave me an embarrassed smile, capturing the beautiful moment. We're just simply recording what she looks like when she's drunk. When she sobers up tomorrow, I'll send it to her to watch. It'll be easier to help her remember what happened tonight. The corner of my mouth twitched. I hesitated for a moment, just said casually, Go ahead and film then. Just make sure to film my handsome side. Okay. Li Qian and the others immediately burst out laughing. But after just 2 steps, Li Qian looked at me curiously again. Hey Junior, you're not the ex-boyfriend who died 3 years ago that she talks about, are you? I thought for a few seconds. If nothing unexpected happened, that's probably me. Then she also said you. Li Qian and the others were immediately bewildered. You all want to say that I've been dead for 3 years, right? I looked down at Lin Qingshui, who was fast asleep in my arms, and the corners of my mouth involuntarily curled up. Actually, I'd also really like to know why she says I've been dead for 3 years. Pausing for a few seconds, the smile on my face gradually turned mischievous. My ex-girlfriend. Under Li Qian's guidance, I carried Lin Qingshui to the entrance of their dormitory. Only then did I carefully put her down from my arms. I looked at Li Qian's group and said, Seniors, while she's in the dorm, you'll have to ask you to take care of her tonight. No problem. Li Qian and the others nodded repeatedly. Then they all stood beside Lin Qingshui, helped her up, and step by step walked into the women's dormitory. After waiting until they disappeared from sight, I left the entrance of the women's dormitory. When I returned to the barbecue restaurant, Zhou Bangfei and the others were still obediently sitting in the room. Seeing me push open the door and enter, the 3 of them stood up in unison. One was responsible for pulling out a chair for me, another was responsible for clearing a clean space on the table, and the third was responsible for bringing me hot skewers and a bottle of beer. After pushing me down into the chair, the 3 of them sat back down in their seats in a row with an interrogating posture. They looked at me with gossipy expressions and asked, Youngest, spill it. What's the situation? It's only your first day of school, and you've already secretly won over our most beautiful campus belle of Capital University. What do you mean, won over? I looked at them helplessly. She and I knew each other in high school. When I heard you guys say she was outside, I just went over to say hello. I didn't expect her to be drunk, so I just helped her back to her dorm. Did you touch your conscience when you said that? Zhou Bangfei shot me a sidelong glance. Youngest, don't think we're all blind. Just a normal friendship, and you had to carry her back to the dorm in a princess carry? Are her roommates just for show? Besides, I saw it very clearly. Campus Belle Lin was the one who threw herself into your arms. Wang Li's eyes lit up. Youngest, you're not the ex-boyfriend who's been dead for 3 years that Campus Belle Lin talks about, are you? 3 years ago, you two broke up, and then you broke her heart. Because of love turning to hate, she went around telling everyone you were dead. At this moment, Zhang Mingyang seemed to be possessed by the god of gossip and slapped his thigh hard. Youngest, I get it now. You're no good at all. Did you two-time her and dump our Campus Belle Lin, which is why she said you were dead? Wang Lei was already getting into character. Damn, if that's the case, during the military training for the next half-month, Campus Belle Lin is our assistant counselor. Once she make things difficult for us, you have to solve this, youngest. I was completely helpless. You guys, stop guessing wildly. I didn't do anything to wrong her. Besides, we weren't even in a relationship. As far as I know, she wasn't dating anyone in high school. Then I know. Zhang Mingyang laughed. So that ex-boyfriend who died 3 years ago was made up by Campus Belle Lin, using this non-existent ex-boyfriend as a shield? If that's the case, does that mean I have a chance? Get lost. Zhou Bangfei shot Zhang Mingyang a look. Stop thinking nonsense. I swear on my sharp sixth sense. Between our youngest and campus Belle, there's definitely some untold story. In a flash, Zhou Bangfei and the other two turned to look at me in unison again. Big bro, let us in on the gossip. I sighed helplessly. We were never together, and there was no two-timing, just a normal classmate relationship. So you don't have any feelings for her at all? I was silent for a moment. I do. At the same time, in a conference room at a research facility for a major aerospace engine in Mobay, a middle-aged man, not yet 70, but with completely white hair, wearing a white lab coat, looked at the stacks of top-secret design blueprints in front of him, his head feeling like it was about to explode. This was Professor Liu, who had spoken to me on the phone earlier, the vice dean of the School of Electronic Information at Capital University. At this moment, he was standing at the podium of the conference room, looking at the scientists below with a stern gaze, and said seriously, "Everyone, regarding this failed test flight, does anyone have any thoughts? Have you found the problem yet?" One of the researchers immediately spoke up. "The test results are out. There are problems in a few areas. First, it's still the problem with the turbine blades. The precision of the turbine blades is still slightly off." After that, everyone listened in silence, until the report concluded. The old man at the front of the conference room immediately snorted coldly. "Let's not even talk about the other aspects. How many times have we tested the precision of the turbine blades? It's still not up to standard? Those material supply companies, what on earth are they playing at? Do they expect us to change the design blueprints? Other scientific research facilities that started their projects at the same time as them have already managed to build fifth-generation transport aircraft engines. They've also built various types of drones and missiles. But their aviation warfare engine research has taken a full 10 years, and this is the result it yields during test flights." At this moment, Lu Yong in the crowd suddenly looked up at the old man. He opened his mouth and said, "Chief Engineer Ye, I know someone who might be able to help us solve the problem." The person he was talking about was me. Regarding the research on the lithography machine, the research facility also encountered many problems back then. But once these problems came to me, they were all quickly and properly resolved. In a way, in the hearts of the researchers who participated in the lithography machine research design, my position in their hearts was almost deified. Moreover, he had also discussed with me the setup of the aviation fighter engine. In this aspect, I also have many of my own unique insights. He believed that if I came, I could definitely solve this problem. Hearing that, the person in charge of the Western Generation Aviation Fighter Jet, Chief Engine Design Engineer Ye Jiangguo, immediately looked towards Lu Yong, saying that someone could come and solve this problem. "Chu Yang," Lu Yong said slowly. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone in the conference room began to murmur among themselves. Who is Chu Yang? An expert in what field? Why have I never heard this name in the country before? Is there an expert named Chu Yang in the field of aviation research? Chief Engineer Ye is the vice president of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Even he isn't sure he can solve this problem. If that person named Chu Yang comes, can he help us solve the problem? Regardless of whether it's the scientific research project they participated in or the project I was in charge of, they are all top secret. Not to mention that my identity in the country is absolutely sea-level top secret. So basically the people present here don't know my name. Only Ye Jiangguo, standing in the crowd, had a slight change in expression. He looked at Lu Yong and asked, "Is the Chu Yang you're talking about the chief design engineer of the project you once participated in?" As the vice president of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, his information was quite up to date. Not to mention, back then, to nominate me as a senior academician of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the old men of the Chinese Academy of Sciences even held a meeting together. Regarding Chu Yang's achievements, he had a certain understanding. That's him. Lu Yong nodded vigorously. Ye Jiangguo was a little doubtful. Then can you invite him here? As far as he knew, isn't that kid currently neglecting his proper duties to study at Jingdu University? That's right, neglecting his proper duties. My talent for scientific research is something these old men have a certain understanding of. In just 3 years, I could go from nothing to researching a 1-nanometer lithography machine propelling China's chips to the pinnacle of the world in one step. This kind of scientific research talent, he wished he could keep this kid in the research facility 24 hours a day to do research. Lu Yong nodded and said, "I can't guarantee it, but we won't know unless we try." Ye Jiangguo pondered for a few seconds, and a look of anticipation gradually appeared in his eyes. Finally, he nodded and said, "Then give it a try. It just so happens that I also really want to meet that interesting kid." They were all old. The future of China's scientific research would eventually have to be handed over to the younger generation. The next day, early in the morning, while I was packing my things in the dorm, I was talking to Lu Yong on the other end of the line. No problem. I'll buy a ticket for the earliest flight there in a bit. I should be able to arrive tonight." Then I hung up. Zhou Bangfei had just gotten out of bed. He sleepily scratched the back of his neck and looked up at me packing my luggage. He asked doubtfully, "Third brother, what are you packing for so early in the morning?" "Something came up at home. I need to go back for a bit," I said in a low voice. "I just received a call from Lu Yong. He wants to invite me to be a consultant for the research and design of the 7th-generation aviation fighter engine. This matter originally didn't require my participation, But I also understand that once I devoted myself to scientific research, I no longer belong to myself. Just like a few months ago, when I completed my work at the research facility, just like when I filled out that text passage, I am willing to actively contribute to scientific research, using the power of knowledge and technology to serve the country and to strive for it my whole life. There are some things that always need someone to do them. Going home? Zhou Bangfei immediately sobered up. Damn, you're not going to participate in the military training? I've already informed the school. Zhou Bangfei nodded, half understanding. If you've informed them, you don't need to do the military training? Then he asked again, how long will you be gone? A week, at the earliest. At the latest, it'll probably wait until you guys finish military training, then I'll be back. Because I'm just going to help consult a bit. I don't need to participate in the main research plan. 2 weeks at most should be enough. Zhou Bangfei was completely awake now. Damn, this kid isn't doing this to skip military training, is he? So if you're suddenly leaving like this, have you said goodbye to Campus Belle Lin? My action of packing clothes immediately stopped. The girls' dormitory. The morning sun shone through the window, casting light on the dormitory floor. Lin Qingshui had a bit of a headache. She rubbed her throbbing forehead and casually stretched. She asked Li Qian, who was already awake beside her, Little Qian, what time is it now? 7 o'clock. It's still early. Li Qian smiled and said, not sleeping anymore. Lin Qingshui quickly scrambled out of bed. After rubbing her sleepy eyes, she opened her mouth to ask, was I drunk last night? I vaguely remember that I was hugging someone. Oh, I thought you had amnesia. Li Qian burst out laughing. Then she took out her cell phone and opened a video she had filmed last night. Well, want me to help you remember? You even took a video? Lin Qingshui exclaimed helplessly. With you around, I really give up. Li Qian held the phone in front of Lin Qingshui. See for yourself. This person carrying you, do you remember him? Lin Qingshui quickly took the phone, and after seeing the image on the screen, she was instantly stunned. The phone was playing the scene of me, carrying her back to school. It even recorded me saying, if you're going to take pictures, remember to make me look handsome. In that instant, all kinds of memories came flooding back. 1 drop, 2 drops, tears streamed continuously from Lin Qingshui's eyes. As if afraid I would disappear, after watching the video once, Lin Qingshui quickly jumped out of bed. Her eyes wide, she looked at Li Qian and asked, Little Qian, how do you know Chu Yang? Where is he now? Li Qian answered, he's a freshman in our School of Economics and Management. He appeared last night after you got drunk. Then you threw yourself into his arms, then he carried you back. Li Qian then asked suggestively, Qingshui, isn't he that boyfriend of yours who died 3 years ago? I have to find him. Lin Qingshui didn't have time to answer Li Qian's question. She quickly finished changing her clothes and rushed out of the dormitory. Li Qian called after her helplessly, Hey, you're in such a hurry. Do you even know where his dorm is? Send me the new students' dorm room assignment list. The people coming and going from the men's dorm entrance were not numerous. I walked slowly on the path in front of the dorm, planning to go to the school cafeteria for breakfast. Suddenly, Lin Qingshui's trembling voice rang in my ear. Chu Yang! I abruptly looked up. The tears on Lin Qingshui's face had long been wiped away. She just looked at me calmly. 3 years had passed. My appearance hadn't fundamentally changed much, but it seemed I had grown quite a bit taller. The naivety in my eyes had also faded, replaced by a bit more maturity and composure. My aura hadn't changed. Before, she always felt I was mature for my age, like an old scholar. Speaking seriously, it looked very interesting. Now, I still have that scholarly appearance. Even wearing the simplest clothes, I still exude an air of elegance and refinement. Although in the video, Lin Qingshui had already seen me once, but now, upon officially meeting at that very moment, Lin Qingshui felt like her heart had stopped beating. The two fell into a dead silence. No one spoke first. For example, that year she angrily told me, I don't want to see you anymore. It's just that back then, it was mostly out of petulance. But now, she was more curious, doubtful, and resentful, hating me for leaving back then without a word of goodbye. Even though the two of them were never together, don't friends still need to say goodbye? I was also stunned on the spot, staring at Lin Qingshui for a long time. She was still the same as 3 years ago. Her appearance hadn't changed much, still as beautiful as ever. On her fair, makeup-free cheeks, she was still so pure and beautiful. Actually, when I left the research facility, I had thought of many opening lines for after I met Lin Qingshui. You're 18 now. Do you have a boyfriend yet? Have you been well these past few years? Congratulations, you finally got into Jingdu University. But now, I really don't know how to face Lin Qingshui. 3 years ago, I received an inheritance from a super civilization, the Eternal Knowledge Repository. Although with my current level of knowledge, I still can't temporarily understand the concept of the Eternal Knowledge Repository, but it exists deep in my brain. It was through studying contents of the Eternal Knowledge Repository that I developed the 1 nanometer lithography machine technology, and this is just a mediocre technology within the Eternal Knowledge Repository. It was also because of that 1 nanometer precision lithography technology that I, with a let's give it a try attitude, handed this technology over to the country. That led to my departure without a word 3 years ago. The two looked at each other for several dozen seconds. In those dozens of seconds, the memories of their time together in high school once again surfaced in their minds. Being called to the blackboard together by the teacher to solve a problem, the teasing from the classmates below, cheering each other on as they ran the 1,500-meter race at the school sports meet, the spicy sticks secretly eaten during class, and the crimson sunset under the setting sun. In their youths, each other's names were engraved. It's just a pity that she never held my dirty hand after I played basketball, and I never smoothed her black hair that was tousled by the wind. I stood there hesitating for a long time before looking up and asking, "I heard you were dead." Lin Qingshui's eyes quickly twitched. The rims of her eyes immediately turned red again. It seemed like 1,000 words were stuck in her throat. She bit her lip tightly and almost screamed, "That's right, Zhu Yang! Aren't you already dead? Why did you appear?" For 3 whole years, she truly believed I was dead, but now I've appeared before her again. My voice caught. I really wanted to explain the things that happened to me over the past 3 years, why I left and what I did. But with my current identity, it was completely inconvenient to disclose. Countless words of explanation in my heart were forced back down by me. The things I did in the past 3 years, the specific details, even to the closest person, could absolutely not be known. Even the contributions I myself have made can only be announced after I die, allowing me to fully stand in the sunlight. In the end, I only whispered one sentence, "Anyway, long time no see. I don't want to see you." Lin Qingshui's expression immediately turned cold. "I only came to see you to confirm whether you were dead or not. Now that I know you're alive, you'll be leaving." After speaking, Lin Qingshui turned to leave. "Lin Qingshui," I called her back. "What's wrong?" Lin Qingshui quickly looked up. I said slowly, "I just want to tell you, I never broke our promise from back then." "Promise from back then?" Lin Qingshui sneered. She suppressed her anger and looked at me saying, "Chu Yang, what is our relationship? Who do you think you are? You can leave whenever you want and appear whenever you want. For 3 years I sent you so many messages and you didn't reply to a single one. For no reason at all, you just vanished from the face of the earth. Do you think that's very dashing, very proud of yourself? Does doing that make me remember you for the rest of my life? Didn't you already disappear? If you've already disappeared, then why did you appear again?" The last sentence, Lin Qingshui almost screamed. It was as if she wanted to vent all the sadness, grievances, and all the dissatisfaction from the past 3 years. At first, she really still had hope that maybe I was teasing her, suddenly disappearing for the whole summer break. At that time, she even thought that after finding me, she would definitely give me a good scolding, but then she gave up. For 3 years, there was no news from me. She gradually felt she was about to forget the stories that had happened with me 3 years ago, but now I've suddenly appeared again. I was rendered speechless. What could I say? A man has pledged his life to his country. It is hard to make promises to her. In the end, I could only sigh. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left without a word back then. I left in too much of a hurry that year. I also didn't know how to face Lin Qingshui, to tell her about my departure. The scientific research project I had to participate in was a national secret. Even my parents only knew that I was specially recruited by the state to study in a special place. Contributing to the country, I have no regrets, but towards Lin Qingshui, I feel guilty. No need. You don't need to apologize to me. We don't have any relationship anyway. You can leave if you want, stay if you want. Whatever you want to do has nothing to do with me. I looked at Lin Qingshui guiltily. I have to go. There's an urgent family matter. I need to go back for a while. But at the latest, I'll be back after the military training is over. Lin Qingshui's face tensed up when she heard this. What happened? But then her face turned cold again. If you want to go, then go. I'm not anyone to you anyway. You don't need to explain to me. I smiled and said, although I've already informed the school, but you are our class's assistant counselor after all. A new student being absent from military training should naturally report it to the counselor. Besides, in my eyes, you're not just my counselor. I don't understand what you're saying. Lin Qingshui snorted softly. Then she pretended to be calm and said, Is there anything else? If not, I'm leaving. Nothing. I raised my hand, wanting to smooth her slightly messy hair, but just as my palm was about to touch, I restrained myself and stopped. This time, it doesn't count as leaving without a word, right? I don't want to be a puppy anymore. Can't be bothered with you. Lin Qingshui immediately recalled her drunken words from last night. Her face flushed red and she shot me a glare. If you have family matters, then hurry up and go. You're so annoying. After saying that, she quickly turned and left. I stood on the spot, watching Lin Qingshui's retreating figure, and a smile gradually formed on my lips. Perhaps I really don't know how to be in a relationship. Meanwhile, Lin Qingshui returned to the dorm and thought for a long time. Suddenly, she angrily blamed herself. Oh, Lin Qingshui, can you not be so useless? Can you not go soft the moment you see him? He left silently for 3 years. Does he understand how you feel? And you're still concerned about what's happening at his home. Then, after taking a few deep breaths and calming her emotions, she quickly made up her mind. The matter of these 3 years, I absolutely cannot let it go just like that. But I didn't know any of this, because at this moment, I had already stepped into the elevator to the waiting lounge. Just then, someone headed towards the elevator and shouted at everyone inside, People inside, get out! Hurry up and get out first! I looked up and out of the elevator. In that chaotic crowd, it turned out to be a celebrity, with quite a few female fans taking pictures. I couldn't help but sneer. There are so many of you, can't you just wait for the next one? Did you build this airport? What do you mean? The male celebrity's assistant's face immediately turned ugly. Our Kun-kun's schedule is so busy, don't you know? Our plane is about to arrive. You should hurry up and make way. My expression didn't change. What does your plane's arrival have to do with us? Ask the people standing in this elevator, who here doesn't have their own business to attend to. Do celebrities get special privileges? Hearing that, the crazed female fans surrounding the male celebrity couldn't take it. Are they as busy as our Kun-kun? Kun-kun is a top star in the country. His daily schedule is packed. Can't you just let our Kun-kun go first? What kind of person are you? Letting Kun-kun use the elevator is an honor for you all. Hurry up and make way. What are you just standing there for? If you make our Kun-kun miss his flight, can you bear this responsibility? At this point, the male celebrity's face also looked a bit ugly. His 2.5 days of fame in the country had made him used to being pampered. Let alone giving up an elevator even. When he was 2.5 hours late for filming, the entire film crew had to wait for him. You're commoners, so what's the big deal about giving up the elevator? But with the professional habits of a celebrity, he was still very cautious in some aspects. If he did something too extreme, it would be easy to cause public backlash. The next second, a smile appeared on his face. After shouting back his assistant and bodyguards, he looked at me in the elevator and said with a smile, "It's okay. Although I'm in a big hurry, I'll still let you guys go first. After all, everyone is very busy." The corner of my mouth twitched speechlessly. This wasted time was already enough for the elevator to go up and come down once. But the brain-dead fans got excited and said that their Kun-kun was so well-mannered while pointing fingers at me. I helplessly shook my head, not bothering to pay attention to that male celebrity. I just directly pressed the elevator's close button. A hero's sacrifice goes unnoticed, while an actor's gossip is known by all. But I had no idea that, just because I didn't give him the elevator, this male celebrity was already planning to incite his fans to attack me with public opinion. Not long after I left, the male celebrity turned to look at his fans and smiled. A cold glint flashed in his eyes. All right. Everyone, don't make a scene anymore. This is just a small matter. Absolutely do not blow this up online. We should get going too. Everyone, please disperse. The assistant quickly understood the hint. He smiled at everyone. Everyone, please disperse for now. Remember, absolutely do not take this matter and spread it on social media. Absolutely do not. Of course, even though he said that, in his mind, he had already started calculating, if this matter blew up online, how he should use it for a round of marketing. Those fans hadn't even thought of this aspect initially. After being reminded by them like that, in this male celebrities' fan groups, an explosion immediately occurred. Kun-kun was their heaven. Bullying their oppa was even more outrageous than killing their own parents. A little over 10 minutes later, Kun-kun's crazed female fans started to speak out online. All sorts of maliciously edited videos, slogans attacking me, and even posts using big data to search for me appeared all at once. Even a post titled, "Come out and apologize to Kun-kun, and our idol deserves respect," was pushed by those crazed female fans onto the hot search list. Therefore, some information about me was also posted online by some people. Although most of the important information, after being CESIS-level encrypted, unless one had extremely high clearance, basically no one could find it. But even so, my photo was leaked online. Especially in the personal experience section, it was noted that for a 3-year period in the middle, it was impossible to find any information about my experience. After this was exposed, countless crazed female fans of Kun-kun immediately started typing curses online. Is it that easy to get into Jingdu University these days? Can anyone just get into Jingdu University? I can't find any information about this person's college entrance exams, nor can I find out if he participated in any top-tier international competitions. How could someone like that get into Jingdu University? I demand the relevant authorities conduct a strict investigation. Of course, there were some reasonable fans, but under the guidance of all sorts of crazed fans, online public opinion leaned towards Kun-kun from the very beginning, making me immediately become a rat running across the street that everyone wants to beat. In a Jingdu University dormitory, Li Qian was casually scrolling through Douyin when she saw this soaring hot search topic. She immediately called Lin Qingshui, who was beside her, to come closer. Qingshui, look, isn't this your junior? So many people are cursing him online right now. What do you mean, my junior? Lin Qingshui was stunned for a moment. She quickly took Li Qian's phone to have a look. She was immediately speechless and said, "Are all fans idiots?" Then she immediately took out her own phone, clicked directly on the hot search topic, and started cursing. Are celebrities a class above others? Isn't it just about not giving up the elevator? Are you in a hurry to be reincarnated, or in a hurry to die? He can scold me, that's what I owe him. But other people are not allowed to. Seeing Lin Qingshui's indignant appearance, Li Qian couldn't help but laugh. Qingshui, who was it that said they would have nothing to do with Chu Yang anymore? Looking at you now, I'm afraid old feelings still linger. Lin Qingshui's cheeks immediately turned red. She glared at Li Qian and said, "Let's stick to the issue, not the person. If it were someone else being treated like this, I would do the same thing." But she quickly discovered that her comment was instantly drowned by those malicious comments. Li Qian was a little worried. Qingshui, this isn't good. Those crazed fans of Kun-kun, it seems they don't want to let your junior go. He's in big trouble this time. I said that he and I have no relationship anymore. Lin Qingshui immediately explained, but right after that, a trace of worry appeared in her eyes. But at this very moment, in a certain special office, a red alarm light suddenly lit up. Clear the rankings immediately. A large number of users are leaking information about one of our country's SSE-level security personnel online. There's a risk of a secret leak. Blockade preparations are complete, awaiting specific instructions from superiors. After seeing this, Director of the National Security Bureau, Liu Changqing, immediately flew into a rage. How are you people doing your jobs? Immediately have someone take down all online information about Chu Yang. At the same time, immediately arrange for people to investigate this matter to see if any foreign spy organizations are pulling the strings from behind. I'm only giving you 10 minutes. If he suffers any harm because of this, none of you can bear the consequences. Huaxia can do without me as the Director of National Security, but Huaxia's scientific research community absolutely cannot do without him. As a genius scientist in the country, my personal file was long ago linked to the National Security Bureau. No matter who it is or any agency that wants to look up my information, it will immediately trigger a high-risk alarm. It's just that he never expected that. This time, it wasn't just one person looking up my identity, but countless reckless netizens spreading my information online. After watching the surveillance footage of the airport elevator, he gritted his teeth and cursed under his breath. Some celebrities these days are really getting more and more outrageous. It's one thing to act all high and mighty, but damn it, at least have some sense. Who are you acting all high and mighty with? Making someone who's about to become the nation's youngest academician give up the elevator for you? Are you worthy? But just as he finished speaking, the phone immediately rang. As soon as he saw the note on the phone, his heart skipped a beat. The one who dotes on his own has arrived. The caller was the president of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, Wang Weiming. Don't be fooled by their old age. When it comes to protecting their own, every single one of them is an expert. He took a deep breath, then nervously answered the phone. Wang Weiming directly let him have it. Liu Changqing, how are you running the National Security Bureau? Something this big is happening online right now, and your security bureau has no countermeasures? Let me tell you, if Chu Yang's identity is exposed, this old man will throw all face away and come raise hell in your office. Liu Changqing had a pained expression. Elder Wang, calm down, calm down. My side has already arranged for people to handle it. 10 minutes, within 10 minutes, all the information online will be taken down. What about that celebrity? I will immediately schedule a meeting with the person in charge of the Cultural Development Bureau. Rest assured, I will definitely give you and all the researchers at the Chinese Academy of Sciences an explanation for this. All right, I'll be waiting for your news, Wang Weiming said in a deep voice, then quickly hung up. Liu Changqing took a deep breath, sitting in his office gritting his teeth. Damn it, I've been at the Security Bureau for so many years, and this is the first time I've been chewed out like this without being able to talk back. Immediately after, he picked up the phone on his desk. Go inform the head of the Cultural Development Bureau. Tell him to be in my office within half an hour. Otherwise, I'll personally pay his Cultural Development Bureau a visit. At the same time, in the airport lounge, I received a call from Wang Weiming. Young man Chu, don't worry about this. Leave it to this old man to handle. Just wait for your flight in peace. Don't let these external matters mess with your thoughts. Within one day, I will definitely give you a satisfactory answer. I wasn't paying much attention to it originally, but the next second, a few flashily dressed girls walked up to me. Are you Chu Yang? You look decent enough. Weren't you in a hurry? Why are you still sitting here in the lounge? Sitting here is still sitting. You saw that our Kun is famous, so you want to ride his coattails, right? Don't you want to be famous? Then we'll help you get famous. As soon as she finished speaking, one of the girls directly splashed a bottle of water on me. I didn't have time to react and was drenched. The security guards in the lounge also saw this scene and quickly ran over to me. Hey, what are you girls doing? The girls looked at each other and immediately ran away. I had just finished wiping the water off myself with a tissue when the phone screen next to me suddenly lit up. Lin Qingshui, who was worried in her dorm, quietly sent a message. Are you okay? My initially terrible mood immediately brightened up, but just as I was about to reply to the prideful Lin Qingshui, my dorm's eldest brother called. After hearing what he said, I was furious. It turns out Lin Qingshui and her roommates had all spoken up for me online. As a result, someone leaked our relationship as high school desk mates, and someone even posted her picture online. Now she's being cursed out by Kun's fans in all sorts of ways. From the beginning, I had maintained a tolerant attitude and didn't care about those crazed fans. But at this moment, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I took a deep breath. I looked down at the message Lin Qingshui sent, and my heart immediately ached. She's being cursed out online like this, and yet she's still worried about me. What a fool. After thinking for a few seconds, I made a phone call. The call connected quickly. Lin Qingshui spoke first. Chu Yang, how are you at the airport? Are you okay? I heard Kun's fans are really crazy. They didn't do anything to you, did they? I'm fine. Don't worry about this for now. Can you leave it to me to handle? Just stay in your dorm for now, and don't look at Weibo. Find a happy movie to watch. After you finish the movie, I will have everything settled. But Lin Qingshui's voice was a bit agitated. How are you going to solve it? Right now, countless people are cursing you all over the internet. How can you handle it alone? By the end of her sentence, her voice was already laced with sobs. She regretted it. If she hadn't been sulking this morning and had come to see me off, would this have even happened? After I comforted her with a few words to change the subject, I pretended to laugh and said, Sister Lin, you're so worried about me? Does that mean you've forgiven me? No way. Lin Qingshui immediately pouted pridefully. Chu Yang, let me tell you, one thing at a time. I helped you online only because they were going too far. That's all. You absolutely shouldn't overthink it. Give up on that idea. I will absolutely never forgive you. After speaking, she silently added in her heart, at least I can forgive you this easily. She was just that helpless. It had clearly been 3 years with no contact, but as soon as I appeared, her heart would immediately raise a white flag in unconditional surrender. No matter how many harsh words she said, no matter how angry she was inside, just one meeting with me and all the sadness in her heart would instantly vanish into thin air. From the first time I saw Lin Qingshui again, I knew she was still the same person she used to be, just too prideful. The only fortunate thing was that we hadn't missed our chance with each other yet. I looked up and smiled lightly. The future is still very long. Wait for me to finish my family matters, and then I will properly ask for your forgiveness. I can't be bothered to talk to you. I'm hanging up. In the girls' dorm, Lin Qingshui's face was tense. She hung up the phone directly, then quickly took a few deep breaths and raised her hand to fan her blushing cheeks. Li Qian, sitting next to her, smiled slyly. Why aren't you crying anymore? When Lin Qingshui's information was exposed by those fans, countless private messages filled with venom were sent to her phone. No matter how cold her exterior was, deep down inside, she was still just a 19-year-old girl. Lin Qingshui quickly shook her head, continued to hold her phone, transforming into a warrior for justice, and started commenting again. After hanging up with Lin Qingshui, I took out from my suitcase a secure phone and dialed a number. This is Chu Yang, Security ID S17171. I request to speak with Security Bureau Director Liu Changqing. After Liu Changqing answered, Academician Chu, I am truly sorry. Rest assured your identity will absolutely not be exposed. All individuals involved, our Security Bureau will definitely investigate them strictly. Then I'll have to trouble Director Liu. But I still have to bother you with one more thing. The girl from Jingdu University who spoke up for me on Weibo, I hope she won't be troubled by this matter anymore. No trouble at all. These are things our Security Bureau should be doing anyway. However, Academician Chu, may I be so bold as to ask a question? That student, Lin Qingshui, from online, is she your girlfriend? If she is, our Security Bureau will make the corresponding arrangements. For the families of top scientific researchers, their Security Bureau has a series of security protection plans, just like my parents. The moment I stepped into the research base 3 years ago, my parents were moved to the collective housing complex in Jingdu, and their daily travels are all secured. I was stunned for a moment. After pausing for a few seconds, not yet. I understand. Liu Changqing nodded his head repeatedly. Rest assured, I will make arrangements for this. After saying that, he hung up the phone. He couldn't stop muttering to himself. My goodness. No wonder this kid suddenly ran off to study at Jingdu University. Turns out he was looking for his girlfriend. Now this is what a young man should be like. But right after, he frowned, looking at the topic that was still soaring on Weibo. What's going on? Didn't we already start deleting some comments? Why is the popularity still so high? The staff member was a bit helpless. Kun has too many fans. We can't keep up with deleting the comments. We delete one batch, and another batch immediately appears. Liu Changqing snorted coldly. What did the person in charge at Weibo say? If they don't suppress this popularity, do they want me to invite their boss to the Security Bureau for tea? The person in charge at Weibo isn't answering the phone. But I contacted a friend who works at Weibo. He said that with Kun's matter, quite a few capitalists have gotten involved. They want to use this opportunity to boost Kun again. His commercial value is still quite high right now. Liu Changqing immediately couldn't help but curse. I don't care what capitalists are behind that Kun. Directly arrange for the technical department to shut down all of Weibo's servers for me. All those who made inappropriate statements online, block all their accounts. Invite all those capitalists to the Security Bureau for me. I want to see if their capitalist legs are bigger or if my size 49 leg is bigger. Also, notify the other agencies. Within 2 minutes, all information about Chu Yang online must disappear completely. As soon as he gave the order, police departments all over the country, military barracks, all received a red-headed document requesting assistance in a case. The document only had 2 points. First, private discussion within the police department is forbidden. Second, arrest people. Based on the IP address information online, go to the relevant locations to make arrests. Although the description in the document was very simple, everyone knew that the fewer the words, the bigger the matter. The police chief frowned slightly. Make the arrangements. Order all personnel on leave to return to the department immediately. Everyone, go make arrests for me. In a military barracks, a white-haired commander looked at the document in his hand with a grave expression. After reviewing it for a long time, he immediately called Liu Changqing of the Security Bureau. Old Liu, what's going on this time? Why is it our military's turn to act? Liu Changqing, who was incredibly busy, said hurriedly, Old Zhao, don't worry about it for now. Due to confidentiality regulations, I can only say that the young man in the document is a key scientist for our country. His value could even be compared to that of the late Elder Qian back in the day. What? The commander's eyes immediately became solemn. All right, I understand. You can rest assured about this matter. Our military will definitely cooperate. They all understood who Elder Qian was. After putting down the phone, the old man's face turned red with anger. He slammed his fist on the desk. Communications officer, immediately dispatch a regiment for me. Coordinate with the police and go make arrests. At the same time, in the high-end VIP lounge, Kun was leisurely lying on a luxurious massage chair, looking at the trending topic. His eyes were full of contempt and satisfaction. Stupid fool, just a commoner like you wants to fight me? I could kill you with just the flick of a finger. The assistant beside him smiled and said, your fans are truly amazing. It's been less than half an hour, and this topic is already about to hit #1 on the hot search list. Your exposure has increased quite a bit again. Just as they were celebrating, they had no idea they were about to follow Fan to the sewing machines. In the Security Bureau, Liu Changqing directly threw the file on the table in front of the head of the Culture Bureau. Kun is suspected of slandering a domestic secret operative and attempting to leak the operative's information. Handle it as treason. Assistant Sun Bingwu Han conspired to slander a domestic secret operative and incited the masses online to leak classified information. Handle it as treason. In this file, there are 17 or 18 other celebrities. They are all the ones who spoke up in support of Kun online during this period. This is just the first step. How it will ultimately be handled will depend on the damage assessment from your bureau. But let me say this first. This incident is very serious. There might be incitement from foreign organizations involved. After this, the Supervision Bureau, the Tax Bureau, the Economics Bureau, and other bureaus will all take action. As soon as these words were spoken, the head of the Cultural Development Bureau was immediately on pins and needles. If not for the chair he was leaning on, he would have nearly collapsed to the ground. Not to mention that the Security Bureau rarely interferes in the entertainment industry. This time, they not only interfered, they directly slapped them with a charge of treason, but also coordinated with multiple departments to act together. He hurriedly took his leave from Liu Changqing and quickly returned to the Cultural Development Bureau. In just 10 minutes, the hot search topic was directly taken down. No information about me could be found online anymore. After seeing this, Kun and his assistant immediately cried out in shock. The next second, the assistant contacted a high-level manager at Weibo. That manager immediately started yelling angrily, let me tell you, something huge has happened now. For old time's sake, I'll give you a piece of advice. Either you run away or confess sincerely when the time comes to get leniency. Just because of this incident with Kun, do you know how miserably you've dragged us down? Just 1 minute before you called, a group from the National Security Bureau rushed to our headquarters and yanked the power cords straight from our servers. Most of the equipment in the company was taken away. Moreover, I guess after I finish this call with you, our entire Weibo senior management will be waiting to be interrogated by the National Security Bureau. After saying that, he still wasn't satisfied and cursed loudly. You bastard, I'm telling you straight right now, you'd better not let me see you in the country, or else I have plenty of ways to finish you off. At this moment, the person in charge of the Cultural Development Bureau called Kun's management company directly. The CEO over there had just picked up the phone when he was furiously berated. I'm calling to inform you that all artists under your management company will have all their pending film projects halted. Don't bring them to me for review anymore. If I approve them for you, then I'll take your surname from now on. Also, the stars in your company who spoke out in support of Kun online will all be blacklisted, especially Kun. Of course, you don't need to worry about that. He's already finished. Furthermore, before 9 p.m. tonight, bring your company's senior management over to the Cultural Development Bureau. I'm inviting you all for a collective tea session. The CEO of the management company was stunned. At the same time, the secretary wearing Balenciaga rushed in. CEO Sun, something big has happened. People from the Tax Bureau are here. They want to take all the documents related to our company's finances and taxes. Moreover, the Commerce Bureau, Finance Department, Fire Department, even people from the police station are all heading to the company. The management company's CEO's eyes immediately filled with panic. It's over. It's all over. There's no need to think anymore. It's completely screwed. Meanwhile, at the airport, Kun and his assistant were continuously receiving cancellation notices, schedule canceled, endorsement deals canceled, contracts. Before they could even understand what was happening, 4 plainclothes officers approached them. We are law enforcement officers from the National Security Bureau. According to our investigation, you 2 are suspected of endangering a national classified personnel. An arrest has now been approved. Please come with us. Kun froze on the spot. I just told that guy to give me the elevator, and he didn't even do it. How did it come to this? Who on earth is that guy? Kun asked resentfully. Can I ask who that Chu Yang really is? You are not worthy of knowing his identity. Anyway, all you need to know is that your lightest punishment will be the permanent revocation of your citizenship. But before he could come to his senses, he saw me sitting quietly in the waiting hall. Immediately after, 2 people from the National Security Bureau walked over. Mr. Chu, the matter online is almost resolved. Director Liu sent the 2 of us to ensure your safety. I stood up and thanked them, then looked at Kun with a meaningful smile. Big star, in the days to come, I wish you luck. He immediately got angry, but as soon as he moved, the 2 escorting officers held him down firmly. Don't try anything, behave yourself. However, a star, after all, has many fans supporting them, but when countless of Kun's scandals were exposed, his fans could no longer sit still. But just a dozen minutes later, even more shocking news about him appeared. According to the Tax Bureau's investigation, Kun evaded 1.56 billion in taxes. This time, the news directly caused public outrage. My God, China only has a population of just over 1.4 billion. This guy really deserves to die. At the same time, in the girls' dormitory of Jingdu University, Li Qian shouted excitedly, King Shui, did you see? The authorities have taken action. Your Chu Yang is really lucky this time. I saw it. Lin Qingshui nodded repeatedly, but she explained arrogantly, I solemnly declare once again that Chu Yang and I really truly have no relationship anymore. As a result, the next second, the phone in her hand rang. Her expression immediately became tense, and she gestured for silence. Don't be noisy. Chu Yang is calling. Li Qian immediately gave a sly smile. And you say you have no relationship with Chu Yang. The moment he calls, you get all tense like this. Shoo. She quickly glared, took a deep breath, and then she answered my call. Chu Yang, what is it? Is something wrong? I'm about to board the plane, so I'm calling to let you know. Lin Qingshui nodded thoughtfully, then immediately pouted and said, What relationship do we have? If you're boarding the plane, then just board. What does that have to do with me? You don't need to call me. After saying that, she couldn't help but ask, Did you see what happened on Weibo? Kun was arrested. All the news about you online has disappeared. You were really lucky this time. You happened to run into the state's crackdown on the entertainment industry. That's right. I still have to thank the state. I didn't explain much either, if she could think of it that way. That was naturally for the best. I wouldn't have to waste time explaining. At this moment, the boarding announcement for the flight to Mobay echoed through the airport. I have to board the plane now. I'll come find you when I get back. I also want to know about the ex-boyfriend who died 3 years ago that you mentioned. What did you mean by ex-boyfriend? My ex-girlfriend, Lin Qingshui. Her cheeks immediately flushed. What ex-boyfriend? I don't know. You go board your plane. I'm hanging up. After hanging up the phone, Lin Qingshui immediately became worried. How could he remember this? Back then, I really thought he was dead. Who knew he was alive now? How am I supposed to explain this? I can possibly tell him that I like you very, very much, so I gave you, the dead you, the identity of an ex-boyfriend. But right after, she became a little suspicious. Passengers flying from Jingdu to Mobay. When did Chu Yang's family move to Mobay? Before she could think it over carefully, Li Qian leaned in with a sly smile. My dear little Qingshui, do you know how you looked just now on the phone? Was exactly like a female cat in heat? As for Kun this time, he sat in the escort vehicle with lifeless eyes. At this moment, he was still clinging to a sliver of hope. He felt he could still be saved, and said to the law enforcement officer beside him, Hey brother, can you get me a phone so I can make 2 calls? After this is over, they'll give you 5 million privately. You're quite rich. The law enforcement officer laughed coldly, pointing at the body camera on his chest. All right, bribing a law enforcement officer. That's another charge added to your list. You definitely can't use the phone. That's the rule, but I can still let you see a bit of the news from the outside. After speaking, he took out his own phone. Who would have thought that as soon as Kun looked, the next second, the officer cursed, Lao Wang, stop the car, let me sit in the front. This kid peed his pants. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Lin Qingshui, sitting in the girls' dorm, started to miss me again. She fiercely stared at our call history and gritted her teeth, mumbling, Chu Yang, you've arrived, but there's no news at all. Did you get home or not? At this moment, Li Qian walked up to her with a sly smile. Qingshui, do you know what you look like right now? Like a wife waiting for her husband's return. If you really can't get over him, then just text him. I won't. She immediately shook her head, pouted, and said, I'm this beautiful besides Chu Yang. Is there no one else who wants me? Why should I be the one to text him first? On the other side, in order to research as quickly as possible the spacecraft's engine, I had begun studying the materials day and night. At 11 p.m., I went to Ye Jiangguo's dormitory and handed him the USB drive in my hand. Academician Ye, here are some of my research ideas and blueprints regarding the aerospace engine. Ye Jiangguo only looked for a moment, and his expression gradually became serious, because the materials I provided were too detailed. At that moment, my phone suddenly rang. I'm sorry, Academician Ye. Ye Jiangguo laughed. It's fine. It's so late. It must be your little girlfriend from Jingdu University, texting you, right? Young love, I've been there. You don't need to mind me. I glanced at it. Sure enough, it was a message from Lin Qingshui. Have you reached home yet? I just told the truth. I've arrived. Talking with someone else. What's up? When Lin Qingshui saw this message, she was immediately furious. I finally managed to swallow my pride and take the initiative to ask him what he was doing, and this guy dares to say he's talking to someone else. You have time to talk to other people, but you don't have time to send me one text saying you've arrived? After disappearing for 3 years, we're not even good friends anymore, are we? Back when we were desk mates, even if he was just taking a shower, he would text to let me know. Men really do change. I was just being sentimental, wasn't I? Humping lightly. Lin Qingshui sent several messages in a row. I guess I came at a bad time. Then I won't talk anymore. You can talk to them today. I'll come again tomorrow. If we alternate like this, it won't be too cold. Don't you think so? Good night. I'm going to bed. Seeing Lin Qingshui suddenly send such a long string of messages, I immediately felt a bit confused. What is the situation, and what's with this tone? Ye Jiangguo saw this and quickly asked, arguing with your girlfriend? Back when I was courting my wife, I would coax her until she was over the moon. If it's a relationship problem, you can ask this old man for advice. And so, one really dared to teach, and one really dared to learn, and sent Lin Qingshui a message like this. Okay, you go to sleep first then. The dorm has a key on in the summer, so remember to cover up with a blanket when you sleep. Don't catch a cold, good night. Smother, you little one. On the other side, after Lin Qingshui saw this, her expression immediately hardened, and she gritted her teeth, typing furiously on her phone. Chu Yang, I haven't hit you in 3 years. Are you itching for a beating? Smother, you little one? You'll smother you, you damn scumbag. I was stunned. Isn't it smother, you little one? After hesitating for a few seconds, I immediately texted back to ask, isn't that what they all say online? Lin Qingshui was truly furious. That's NCDX, Chu Yang? Are you a caveman? In the dorm, Li Qian immediately looked over at Lin Qingshui with a gossipy look in her eyes. Don't tell me your Chu Yang made you angry? Lin Qingshui gripped the phone in her hand tightly. I've decided. I'm ignoring him for at least 3 days. Li Qian said quietly. I'd give it 1 day. Tops. Ye Jiangguo looked at me with a dazed expression. So? Did she happily go to sleep? Yes. She went to sleep. The next morning, as the assistant counselor, Lin Qingshui sat on the sports field, occasionally scrolling through her phone. Li Qian, sitting next to her, quickly asked, Hey Lin Qingshui, are you hiding a man in your phone? You keep looking at it every few minutes. What's the situation? Lin Qingshui immediately pouted, her tone full of resentment. Who else but Chu Yang? I sent a good morning text this morning, and now it's almost noon, but he still hasn't replied at all. Although I said I'd ignore him for 3 days, I didn't tell him that. I even deliberately posted on my moments the picture of military training under the scorching summer sun. Is Chu Yang waiting for me to text him, or what? He could at least ask how the military training at school is going. Maybe I'd soften up and reply to him, but I gave him a chance, and he didn't even know how to take it. Li Qian quickly said, Didn't you say yesterday you'd ignore him for 3 days? So he can't text me? Lin Qingshui continued to pout, seeing this. Li Qian couldn't resist reaching out to pinch Lin Qingshui's exquisite and still slightly chubby face. Oh, please. My dear little Qingshui, do you have to be so cute? After thinking for a moment, she continued, If he doesn't text you, then you should just ignore him too. There are thousands of men in this world. If one doesn't work out, well, just switch. It's not like you're lacking just Chu Yang. Well, see, Lin Qingshui pouted and picked up her phone to check one more time. Still no message. In the afternoon, at the research facility, dozens of top experts and professors from various fields had gathered. Among everyone, except for Wu Li, most of the others had been urgently dispatched to the Mobei research facility after receiving orders. Completely unaware of what had happened, just as everyone was buzzing with discussion, Ye Jiangguo finally led Chu Yang and Wu Li. The two of them slowly walked into the conference room. Who is this kid? He's so young and already following academician Yi. Is he also part of the project? Seeing Chu Yang's appearance, some people in the conference room were stunned. They didn't know Chu Yang's contributions, but the researchers working at the facility were at least around 30 years old, while the older ones among them were nearly 70 or 80. Ye Jiangguo scanned the room. Everyone, please be quiet for a moment. His voice was a bit stern, causing everyone present to fall silent. Even a few veteran academicians from the Chinese Academy of Sciences knew to quiet down and looked towards Ye Jiangguo. After clearing his throat, Ye Jiangguo continued to speak. There is certainly a reason for gathering everyone here this time, but before that, I need you all to sign a confidentiality agreement. After signing the confidentiality agreement, we will discuss other matters. Immediately after, in front of each person, a confidential file bag was distributed. After everyone opened the file bags, some documents marked top secret immediately appeared before their eyes, a 5-star top secret agreement. What kind of project is this? A 5-star top secret agreement hasn't appeared many times since the founding of the nation, has it? To be able to participate in such an important research project is a dream that countless scientists can never touch in their lifetime. After everyone had signed the confidentiality agreement, Ye Jiangguo continued, the confidentiality agreement has been signed. Then, let me introduce to you all the project I'm about to announce next. This is the design and R&D project for the device of our nation's warp drive engine. Chu Yang, who is standing next to me here, is the main person in charge of this project. Someone spoke up and asked, Academician Yi, you're not kidding, are you? Someone this young, can he really be in charge of this project? One by one, others also began to ask questions. That's right, that's right. If he was arranged by the higher-ups to gain experience, I see no problem with that. But to have him as the main person in charge of this project, isn't that a bit too careless? It wasn't that these people didn't believe it, but this news was truly too shocking. A young man under 20 years old was going to lead a 5-star top-secret research project. How could that be? Ye Jiangguo said nothing more, just gave me a look. I immediately understood, cleared my throat and slowly walked in front of everyone, experts, professors, as well as the academicians of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. I know I am very young. I also know you are all very doubtful about why I am involved in this project. Whether you want to stay or leave, I, Chu Yang, cannot stop you. I will give you all 3 minutes to think. Stay or go. After 3 minutes, I will explain the reason to everyone. If you have any questions or issues, you can ask me directly then. The entire conference room fell silent immediately. Some also looked at Chu Yang with quite a bit of surprise, setting aside his research level for a moment To be able to, in front of so many experts and professors like them, speak with such confidence, in terms of sheer presence, he had already surpassed all the young talents in the country. 3 minutes later, naturally, no one wanted to leave. After all, a 5-star top-secret project. No one wanted to miss such an opportunity. After seeing this scene, I slowly began to speak. The research on the warp drive device this time was proposed by myself, and I have already achieved some theoretical results and research materials. Later, I will fully present to you this research direction as well as the content that you will need to coordinate on. If there are any issues, you can also voice your objections. Countless people exclaimed in amazement, "It really is a warp drive device. Have we gotten old? The young people nowadays are so brilliant." After completely accepting this reality, everyone held a brief meeting. The meeting lasted for nearly 6 hours. It wasn't until after 2 a.m. that I concluded this meeting, during which I focused on explaining some of the implementation theories for the warp drive device, and in between, I also answered questions posed by many experts and scholars. The meeting ended to thunderous applause, along with the passionate cheers of each researcher echoing throughout the conference room. These people had truly grown old. But thankfully, the Chinese scientific community had a successor. It's truly a case of new shoots replacing old bamboo. After bidding farewell to the experts, I went to the security locker at the door and retrieved my phone, turning it on as I headed back to the dormitory in the reception area. After turning it on, I saw a message from Lin Qingshui sent around 11 p.m. It was a short goodnight message. Thinking for a few seconds, I smiled lightly and replied, "Good night, sweet dreams." As a result, the next second, Lin Qingshui replied instantly, Well. Our busy man finally decided to reply. I paused for a moment, then raised my hand to reply. "You're awake?" Lin Qingshui immediately gritted her teeth. What the hell does he mean, asleep? All day today, aside from a good morning, Chu Yang really didn't send her a single extra message. It made her feel as if cats were scratching at her heart. Sending a good night message was also a way to get Chu Yang to text her. But in the end, she just kept waiting and waiting until now. Taking a deep breath, after quickly composing herself, Lin Qingshui slowly replied, "Can't sleep yet. Chatted with my roommate for a while. Is there a problem?" "No problem." I replied to a few messages and then asked, "So when are you planning to sleep?" "Don't know." Lin Qingshui pouted. After hesitating for a few seconds, she immediately sent another message asking, "Is the family matter that busy? So busy that you didn't have a free moment all day to send me a single text?" "It is pretty busy," I replied silently to myself. In the morning, I finalized the document content. In the afternoon, I met with experts and professors. And in the evening, I had to have a meeting with them. It really was very busy. "Well, that's just great," Lin Qingshui replied quickly, while silently clenching her pearly teeth. "If you're that busy, then just don't message me anymore. Go focus on your work." But in the end, she still didn't send the thoughts in her heart. Instead, she asked curiously, "Last time, you pissed me off so much I was stunned. I didn't even get a chance to ask, Chu Yang. You disappeared for 3 years without a word of goodbye. Shouldn't you give me an explanation?" But after thinking it over, she felt that asking like this seemed a little too hasty. So she continued to reply, "Of course, if you don't think it's necessary to explain it to me, that's fine too. After all, we have no relationship, you stinky Chu Yang. Disappearing for 3 years without a word, the fact that this beautiful young lady can still text you politely now is already very lucky for you. You had better explain clearly why you left without a word 3 years ago." I hesitated for a moment, then replied, "Qingshui, can we not talk about this?" Lin Qingshui was so angry she wanted to slam her bed, but she still tried to suppress her emotions and quickly replied, "Oh, okay, let's leave it at that. I'm going to sleep first." After seeing this message, I hurriedly asked, "Are you angry?" Lin Qingshui let out a self-deprecating laugh. "This blockhead isn't completely hopeless, is he?" She continued to reply, "No, how would I dare be angry at the busy Mr. Chu? What if you get angry again and you disappear without a word again like 3 years ago?" I was stunned and hurriedly replied, I won't. There really was a reason 3 years ago, but I promise that from now on, I will never leave without a word again. I'm not anything to you. You don't need to specifically tell me this." I typed a reply. "Aren't we good friends?" Lin Qingshui replied instantly. "Just good friends? Can it be a different relationship? It can't." Lin Qingshui puffed her cheeks in anger. After quickly replying to the message, she helplessly rubbed her forehead. Hopeless. This guy is truly hopeless. I've already made it so obvious. Does he still not get the hint?" After a sigh, Lin Qingshui hurriedly replied, "Forget it. I want to go to sleep now. You should rest early too. Good friends, okay? Then you should sleep. Good night." Lin Qingshui replied, "Good night, my foot." For the next few days, the two of them continued to have sporadic conversations like this. I would send a good morning, and Lin Qingshui would reply with a good morning. Lin Qingshui would send a good night, and I would reply with a good night. There were no other conversations besides that. But every time I saw a message from Lin Qingshui, it was a rare moment of relaxation in my busy research work. 10 days later. The military training at Jingdu University was also coming to an end. Warm applause also erupted within the base. 10 days. During these 10 days, they spent day and night in the research area, all for the construction of this model before them. As long as this model could operate successfully, it meant that Chu Yang's theory was effective, so today was a landmark day. Countless people all started to lower their heads and discuss In this lifetime, to see the possibility of a warp drive becoming a reality, it's truly unbelievable. If the model can operate perfectly, this is absolutely a huge step forward in the field of dynamics for the entire world. This day will definitely be recorded in the history books. But during this time, Chief Engineer Chu has really worked hard. That's right. This is the first time I've seen a scientific researcher work so desperately. And as soon as these words were spoken, everyone present unanimously looked towards Chu Yang. If 10 days ago, Chu Yang used theory and knowledge to win over everyone here, then now it was based on Chu Yang's intense scientific research charisma. I smiled at everyone. Everyone, don't rush to praise me. Prepare to conduct the first ignition test. Ye Jiangguo looked at me worriedly. Chu Yang, do you want to rest for a day and conduct the ignition test tomorrow? I shook my head and said with a smile, no need, I can still hold on. Let's just proceed with the ignition test now. Ye Jiangguo also knew he couldn't convince Chu Yang, so after a sigh, he quietly stood to the side. Very quickly, a research staff member brought a red ignition button. Chief Engineer Chu, you do the ignition. I took a deep breath and was about to press the button when I suddenly turned my head to look at Ye Jiangguo beside me. Director Ye, how about you do it? I'm a little nervous. Forget it. Ye Jiangguo directly waved his hand. You're going to pull rank with me here? You are the chief designer, so you should press it. I smiled. Then I'll press it? Go ahead. Everyone can't wait any longer. I nodded, then with a solemn look, I pressed the button in my hand. Everyone held their breath in concentration, and immediately after, the model of the warp drive device began to operate. Powerful electrical energy was channeled into it, and the entire research area began to glow with flashes of red light. Continuous sounds began to reach everyone's ears. Ignition successful. Initiating warp drive chamber. Warp drive chamber initiation successful. Negative energy generator preheating complete. Firing laser. Negative energy detected. Initiating high-speed warp particle collection process. Warp field established successfully. Current detected warp level is 0.1. Preparing to release the test object. As the final countdown ended, a 50-kilo iron sphere was directly dropped from midair into the warp field. The iron sphere, which should have fallen straight to the ground the moment it entered the warp field, shot straight forward and finally smashed into an iron gate 100 meters away. Seeing this scene, everyone's suspended hearts slowly settled down. The entire base erupted in joyful cheers. We succeeded. We succeeded. Warp drive is possible. Warp drive is possible. Countless people hugged each other, crying with joy. In the next 5 years, 10 years at most, Huaxia will definitely be able to bring the actual warp drive device onto the world's grand stage, showcasing Huaxia's prowess. Ye Jiangguo's eyes were red. He had dedicated his entire life to engines from the very beginning, witnessing Huaxia's fighter engine technology grow from nothing. He had experienced almost all the hardships involved. He hoped more than anyone that Huaxia could stand at the pinnacle of the world in the aerospace field. And today, he saw it. After getting emotional, I slowly bowed to everyone. Chu Yang thanks everyone here for their understanding. I'll have to trouble everyone with the rest of the journey. But after slightly bowing my head, I felt my head getting heavier and immediately thought, this is not good. My body has been completely drained during this time. My stamina can't hold up anymore. My body involuntarily started to sway slightly. Chu Yang, what's wrong? Ye Jiangguo was the first person to notice Chu Yang's condition. Because since this morning, he had felt that Chu Yang's mental state wasn't right. But because the warp drive device model was about to be assembled and completed, he had been forcing himself to hold on. Now that the model test was over, the last bit of strength Chu Yang had been holding on to also dissipated. I smiled bitterly. This constitution of mine is still no good. I've only been awake for 10 days and my mental state is already like this. Perhaps I understood that my current condition was due to physical exhaustion. I just didn't know how many days I'd be unconscious. I hope I'm not unconscious for too long. Otherwise, Ling Qingshui will worry. Then I used my remaining strength and glanced at Ye Jiangguo. He'll have to trouble everyone again this time. The next second, I slowly closed my eyes. My body lost control and started falling forward. I vaguely heard Ye Jiangguo shout loudly out the door. Quick, someone come here, take him to the Mobei Military Region Hospital immediately. In the skies above Jingdu University, 4 of Huaxia's most advanced fighter jets roared past, and in the middle of those 4 fighter jets, an armed transport plane was flying steadily. The students who were on break all raised their heads to look at the blue sky, their expressions a little tense. My God, 4 fighter jets as an escort. On that transport plane in the middle, what kind of important person is on board? Or are they transporting some important materials? Even fighter jets had to be mobilized. What big event happened? There were also quite a few students who took out their phones and started taking pictures, but the military instructors, who were usually very amiable, immediately stood up. Everyone put down your phones, no pictures allowed. The pictures you've taken, delete every single one of them for me. Along with the continuous shouting, the head instructor's voice also came over the loudspeaker. Everyone, break time is over. Put down the phones in your hands. The break is over. Although they didn't know why there were so many fighter and transport planes mobilized in the sky, it was certain that a major event had occurred. And in other areas of Jingdu, there were also people who filmed this scene. But what was surprising was, either the videos they had couldn't be sent out at all, or after being sent, they were all deleted in less than a minute. Lin Qingshui looked up at the fighter jets roaring across the sky. For some unknown reason, she suddenly felt her heart tighten. Li Qian beside her quickly noticed her abnormality. Qingshui, you! What's wrong? You don't look well. It's nothing, I just suddenly feel a little uncomfortable. Lin Qingshui listlessly shook her head, then forced a smile to reassure Li Qian. It's okay, it'll be fine after a short rest, but her gaze was fixed on the fighter jets soaring across the sky. 3 days later, intensive care unit, Jingdu Military Region Hospital. After Chu Yang was brought to the Jingdu Central Hospital, the higher-ups gave a direct order, summoning almost all the top experts in the hospital to collectively examine and consult on Chu Yang, which made all of them extremely anxious. It wasn't until it was officially determined that Chu Yang was just overly exhausted and needed rest that everyone breathed a sigh of relief. On the sports field of Jingdu University, Li Qian asked Lin Qingshui beside her, Qingshui, do you want some milk tea? No, Lin Qingshui said distractedly. I'm in a bad mood. I don't feel like eating anything. What's wrong with you? Li Qian asked curiously. You've been distracted for the past 3 days. What's the situation? After coming to her senses, Li Qian started to ask with a laugh. It's not because of Wang Tujie, is it? I heard he's planning to confess to you at the freshman welcome party tonight. You're not troubled by this, are you? That's not the main reason. Lin Qingshui sighed. Since 3 days ago, after Chu Yang sent her a good morning message, he seemed to have vanished from the face of the earth. I've sent so many messages continuously and haven't received a single reply. It's as if Chu Yang has disappeared again. Jingdu Military Region Central Hospital. While the 2 old academicians were arguing, I was lying in the hospital bed and my finger twitched slightly. Then I slowly opened my eyes. Glancing at Ye Jiangguo and Wang Weiming beside me, I spoke weakly. My phone. Where's my phone? Little Chu, you're awake. Ye Jiangguo immediately stood up from the sofa in the hospital room and, overjoyed, approached Chu Yang, then shouted loudly outside the room, Doctor, doctor, come quickly, the patient is awake. I looked at the 2 excited men. Didn't I just take a nap? Waking up isn't something to get this excited about. Then I repeated again, Uncles, could one of you please help me get my phone? By the way, let me ask, this time when I fainted, how many days has it been? 3 days. Ye Jiangguo nodded continuously, went to the table with Chu Yang's personal belongings, found the phone, and immediately handed it to Chu Yang. I took it and quickly opened the phone screen, and a flood of content immediately appeared before my eyes. It was a long string of messages sent by Lin Qingshui. Good night. Didn't you sleep at all last night? Where are you? Chu Yang, are you planning to disappear again? Still not replying. Chu Yang, I'll give you another half hour. If you still don't reply, they'll never pay attention to you again. Chu Yang, you bastard, I'm giving you one last chance. Reply to my message. Chu Yang, where on earth did you go? Chu Yang, I hate you.